Hello and welcome to Porsche Cup Challenge Euro Global Division. We're here at the amazing track of Sebring. Lots of action for you all to watch tonight. We've got 20 cars, so a little bit less than we're normally used to seeing. But you know what that does is it just makes it a little bit more of an intimate, close grid where everyone really does get to know each other very, very well. Super excited. Currently, we've got Igor Koz on, I believe I'm saying that correct, Koz? I don't know. I'm sure I'll get a message later on when he watches this back and says, hey, that's not how you say my name. Anyways, now I'm just rambling. Then we got Misha Berger currently in second, Philip the Hammer in third. Not a place that we're normally used to seeing him. It looks like he's getting some yellow sectors right now on his next qualifying lap. So we'll have to see how that comes. We got 24 Celsius track temperature, so that explains why some of these times are absolutely blazing fast. The Thursday Americas crew had a much hotter track, so these guys are very lucky. It just seems to happen that way quite often. We have two more races of this season to go. We have Sebring, and then our last race will be the Nürburgring combined. Really excited for that one. Here comes Philip the Hammer down that back straight, the Allman straight, heading towards turn 17. And yellows. I don't think he's going to be able to set a fastest lap, and he's not going to have enough time to set another lap. So he may be stuck in third place starting on the second row of the grid in the sprint race. Yeah, he's not even trying. There you go. We're going to just follow along with Andrew Redhead right now. He is heading through turn 5, and you try to avoid the sandbank, and you exit, and you go down this straight right here towards the hairpin. And it looks like he's given up on his lap as well. That was a 1X, so it will invalidate his lap. So, and Frank Smith, same thing. Well, I guess we're not going to be able to go do a run through of the track this time round, but maybe next time, or during the race when we have a moment. And it looks like Igor Ko's not able to. Yeah, well, he's now on pole position. So there we go. So we have, everyone has now finished their qualifying session. Looks like Misha Berger has there we go. Here we can follow Misha Berger to take a look at what does this track look like. So this is coming around turn 6. It's called Big Bend, and then you head towards turn 7 hairpin. You're going from your top speed all the way down to first gear if you want to be brave enough, or the very low end of second, and you exit, and there you go. Okay, well. Joke's on me, isn't it, eh? Well, at least the qualifying will be done in about 5 more seconds. We're going to be able to pull up our qualifying results, see exactly who is where, and there it is right there on your screen. We got Igor is on pole position. Congratulations, Igor, for snagging that pole position from all this very tough field, all of these fast drivers. Misha Berger in second. I know you will be promoted to the Pro Division next season. No doubts about that. Misha Berger. Philip Hammer in third position. Florian Kappel coming back to race with us once more. Welcome back, Florian. Corey Lazarus in fifth position. Django Val. First time with us, great qualifying time. Danny Hugendorn, Jamie Fierro, long time no see. Jamie Fierro, Ryan Winfeld, Emil Koopmans, Stefan Heineken, Philip Straffarelli, Gordon Ramsay, Alexander Wilford, Frank Smits, Lee Holmes, Thorsten Seifert, Bjorn Ritter, Alexander Redhead, and Glenn Humberstone. I gotta say, I'm pretty surprised Frank Smits is that far down in 15th. So I'm gonna be expecting him to make a lot of good moves, potentially not. Well, I guess we'll see as the race goes. Trying to get himself back up into that reverse grid top 8 that he's currently sitting outside of. There we go. We have a great look of our field. Let's take a look at our weather conditions. We got 23 Celsius track temp, 23 Celsius ambient temperature to start this race. You can see Barney up in the right side of the flag tower, ready to start this race. We've got our track map so you can follow along with exactly where all of the cars are as we go along throughout our race. This is our 15-minute sprint race about to start. Just waiting for every driver to get ready, get into their car, and then we'll be off on our ways. There's the lights. The lights are up in the middle of the screen. Lights are off and away we go. It looks like Igor got an excellent launch. The Hammer got an excellent launch as well. He's going to go up the inside of Misha Berger, Florian Kappel. Wow, what a great shot up the inside. Misha Berger having to go real wide to avoid that collision. And as that track narrows, coming out of that first corner, you can see everyone just making it through nice and cleanly. No one has spun so far, I don't think. Yep, nope, no one has spun. Perfect. And Igor Koz is in the lead with Florian Kappel in second. Philip the Hammer made all those passes. He's still in third, actually. He didn't make up any positions. But Misha Berger is down many spots. And away we go into the first heavy braking zone with Igor in the lead. We have Emil up the inside of Stefan. Philip Straffarelli trying to go around the outside. And there it goes. Our first spinner, Django Val, is into the wall. Unfortunately, as you saw it right there, a little bit excited on throttle, and it's just spun him right round into that wall. I see Corey Lazarus has gone off the track. I'm going to take a quick look at exactly how did that happen just before we get too far into the action. Here's Corey Lazarus. Oh, and just going off into the grass. I'm not sure what happened. That may be mechanical failure, technical failure. We have no idea. Here's Jamie Fierro, Danny Hugendorn. They are going side by side as they head down that straight. It looks like Jamie Fierro is by Ryan Winfeld wanting to take a piece of the action on Danny Hugendorn as well. So Misha Berger is down 2 spots. Looks like Corey and Stefan Heineken, the biggest losers of the evening so far. Misha Berger down 2, so a little bit of a loser in that way too, over there for the Burgermeister. As we head down the start-finish straight to Sunset Bend. It looks like Florian Kappel is in the lead with Igor Koz getting challenged for his position by the Hammer as Hammer tries to go around the outside. Misha Berger not too far off, willing to take up any of the pieces that are dropped and get back to where he started. Wow, here we go into turn 1. Florian Kappel is now in the lead of this race with Philip Hammer in second and Igor Koz in third. Igor, I'm sure, did not expect to be there after that first lap, after a great launch, after a first great few corners, but perhaps a not excellent exit down that straight, that back straight, put him in that spot. Just, that's how intense the competition is. Just one tiny mistake and you lost your spots. Here's Emil Koopmans battling it out with Ryan Winfeld. Emil Koopman's going to have a little bit of a shorter distance to travel. Frank Smits is going to be following along through. Oh, and here we go. And here is Emil Koopmans is on the inside going into the hairpin. And Ryan Winfeld just absolutely giving it his all, trying to stay side by side and stay ahead. And now Ryan Winfeld has gotten on through and is ahead of Emil Koopmans. And if Emil Koopmans doesn't look too far away, there is Frank Smits up the inside of Emil Koopmans into turn 10. Absolutely wild battling in the middle of the pack here. Lee Holmes, Gordon Ramsay also going at it. These two are very closely matched. Look a little further back here is Philip Straffarelli. He's exactly where he started, so that is a good drive for him so far with such a strong field that we've got. Thorsten Seifer is up 4 spots. Wow. Great drive so far. I want to take a look. How did Stefan Heineken go off the track? Here's Stefan Heineken. Oh, as he heads toward Tower, and that is exactly how he got passed by many drivers, and that's what's put him a little bit further back. We're going to go right to the very front pack of our field right now. This is Florian Kappel as he's heading into and out of Sunset with the Hammer in tow and Igor just itching to get back into the lead. You can see him getting closer and closer to the Hammer, just one spot at a time. Here is Ryan Winfeld battling out with Danny Hugendorn. It looks like he is now through the Hugendorn brick wall. Frank Smits is now looking at how to get through as well. Oh, and a little bit of a bump. Oh, and there goes Ryan Winfeld battling it out hard and just unfortunately going off of the track. And fortunately for Frank Smits, who's now up 9 positions total, some of those spots he didn't even have to make a pass just by being a little bit more conservative, and away you go. Following along here is Philip Straffarelli and Gordon Ramsay as they head down Big Bend turn 6 towards that hairpin. Going to be a heavy braking zone, and let's see who is going to be the winner under heavy braking. Nose dives down. Gordon Ramsay's going to have a shorter distance travel. That's going to be a lot easier to hold on to his position, and out they go out of turn 7 with Gordon Ramsay ahead. Thorsten Seifert starting to get even more hungry. He's up 6 positions total. He's looking to get up even more on Philip Straffarelli. If Philip is not careful, and don't look too far, you got Alexander Wilford, who's up 2 positions total, right hot on their tail, ready to pick up any of the scraps that are left for him. All of these drivers extremely confident, and that amount of trust to drive this close to each other, absolutely wonderful, I gotta say. Now they're heading around turn 14 Bishop, and then turn 15, and then turn 16 Le Mans onto that back straight. This corner right here, as you watch them go through it, is where it really matters. You gotta get that one perfect every single lap, or else that car behind you, who's likely to do a little bit better than you if you do it wrong, is gonna get an excellent run on you as you head down towards Sunset, and this is gonna be the best passing opportunity on the track. Poconos here, and you can really get by if you can get that left lane position exiting this final corner. You're definitely going to be getting by as you head into turn 1. Here's Philip Straffarelli wanting to go around the outside of Gordon Ramsay through turn 1. Gordon's going to have a much shorter distance travel. Now it's opened up the door for Thorsten Seifert to look at the inside of Philip Straffarelli and backs out. Oh, what is that? That must be a blue flag car. I'm not sure who that was. Oh, that was Glenn Humberstone. Okay. Back to the action, of course. Now Alexander Wilford closer than ever to Thorsten Seifert. Not able to get some overlap here into the heavy braking zone, but I'm sure he will soon. Back up to Gordon Ramsay and Philip Straffarelli. Philip Straffarelli much further behind Gordon this time round, heading into that braking zone. So not going to be any passing going on there, but Alexander Wilford really applying that pressure to Thorsten Seifert, closer than ever as he heads into turn 10. This is quite an interesting corner. There's a bump as you exit turn 10, and if you throttle up too heavy, too quick, you are going to spin your car. And it gives an excellent opportunity for the trailing car to get a little bit closer and start thinking about how to make that pass. Put on that pressure and make the guy ahead of you sweat. It's really, really crucial to be able to do that. To make that pass. Like if the guy's driving in his mirrors, you're definitely going to catch him out. And here comes that turn where it really counts. This is for all the marbles. It looks like Thorsten Seifert had a little bit of a wiggle, and that's going to allow Alexander Wilford to go up the inside as they head towards Sunset. And is Thorsten Seifert going to yield the position and make it easy, or is he going to battle it out? Let's see. Here goes Thorsten Seifert trying to make it work round the outside, and he lets Alexander Wilford through, not wanting to battle too hard, and now he comes back at him. Wow. And that is the complexity of that corner. Thorsten Seifert is back ahead as he heads toward turn 1. That is the absolute complexity of that corner. It's such a long, drawn-out corner. You can be on the inside, you can be on the outside. Both of them will absolutely work, and a little bit of understeer, all of a sudden, boom, away you go. You may think you have that spot, and then you lose it right back. I'm going to take a look at the leader of our race, car number 97, Florian Kappel. Welcome back, and look at you doing well in the front of our of our pack here. This is turn 10, and you can see the cars take a little bump. They actually go a little bit wide. If you go a little bit to the left of the middle of the track, you avoid that bump, as you see all of our very front pack drivers doing, but none of them getting away from any of the others. Igor closer than ever to the hammer. You know, as they head towards Le Mans turn 16 and go on to that start, the Almond Straight just before the start-finish straight, Igor closing that gap. You can see right here. Really curious to see if Igor's going to try and make that move. Is this going to be another Thorsten and Wilford kind of battle throughout Sunset? Let's see. Igor closing in, but I don't think he had a good exit onto that straight, and just not able to get up alongside the hammer. So Igor goes down 2 positions, and he's just going to have to accept that for another few laps, or really try and push to make something happen. The pace of these drivers at the very front, absolute blazing fast. Let's take a quickie look at what are these lap times. Here's the best lap times of every one of the drivers. And so there you have it. How fast are they going? This fast. And and Igor was really trying to push his luck on the hammer, trying to make hammer work for that second position, trying to go on the inside, on the outside, make him sweat, and that's given a little bit of breathing room to Florian Kappel as they head towards this hairpin. And I'm going to pull up the intervals so you can see really how close all of these drivers are, within 4/10 of each other, all 4 cars. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Out of the hairpin they go, heading towards turn 10. Let's take a little bit of a closer camera look at this as they head towards turn 10. There's Florian Kappel. You can see all the bumps of Sebring, these cars bouncing around as they go into that heavy braking zone. There's that little bump you saw from Misha Brigger's car as he heads out of that corner. Here is Tower. This definitely a corner where it's a nice long trail brake is to your benefit. Braking a little bit less for a little bit longer, and you'll be faster overall. These corners here, when your tires get onto the curbing, it's quite a challenge to keep control of these cars heading onto this back straight. And this is for all the marbles once again on this straight. That exit of turn 16 is absolutely everything, and it looks like Misha Berger may have a run on Igor Koz. And is he going to go for it as we head to the very end of the straight into the braking zone? And Misha is not able to get up alongside. Misha Berger now starting to apply pressure to Igor Koz, and the hammer closer than ever to Florian Kappel with another 2 laps to go in this race. There is that start-finish line one more time. We're going to have 9 laps total. Hammer is closer than ever to Florian Kappel. Is he going to make a move as he heads out of turn 1? Let's see, does he get the exit he wants? Not quite, so he's going to have to sit tight and keep waiting it out until that gap that he thinks is there opens up, and then send it. Absolutely lick that post stamp and send it. Heading out of turn 5. I don't think any of these guys are going to be close enough to make some overlap and make a pass into the hairpin, but never know. Here you go, they bump up and down, jump up and down, I should say. Their cars jump up and down as they hit the bumps in that heavy braking zone. It's the challenge of Sebring. This track is flat, yes, but also not flat, and it makes for a wonderful way, how do you say, a wonderful track, a wonderful layout, and a wonderful challenge for all the drivers. It's absolutely a magical track. I didn't think that a flat track could be so great, and it just is. I'm going to take a look at here. This is Frank Smits and Emil Koopmans. Emil Koopmans is up 3 positions. Frank Smits is up 9. So that puts Frank Smits all the way into this reverse grid top 8. Lee Holmes is the last driver in the reverse grid top 8. And so that means Lee Holmes and Emil Koopman will start on the very front row. I have a few notifications that some of our drivers have crashed. Glenn Hammerstone has crashed. Stefan Heineken has a little bit of a crash. And yeah, and that's explaining why they're much, much further down the pack. As we head down that last back straight, we're going to have one more lap. They're just now starting now. Here is Emil Koopmans. I don't think he's going to be able to get a pass on Frank Smits unless he gets there, gets right up to his bumper, starts applying that pressure. He has one more lap to do it. And in the meantime, we're going to jump up to that lead pack and see how they're doing for the win of our sprint race, this 15-minute sprint before the reverse grid top 8. Here is this last lap for Florian Kappel to lay down some rubber and stay ahead as he heads towards turn 7 hairpin. This is the big bend, turn 6. He's coming around. He's got a nice sizable interval gap to Hammer. That is a comfortable place to be. You don't normally see Hammer behind, but you're seeing it here right now with Florian Kappel in the lead. Exiting the hairpins, Florian Kappel really putting the power down much better than the Hammer it's looking like, and that delta is just absolutely growing just little bit by little bit. Igor Ko is not able to make anything happen on the Hammer from third into second, and Misha Berger just sitting tight hoping something in front of him happens. A little further back, you got Emil Koopmans. He actually has gotten much closer, and we're going to have to follow along on that very last straight, on that very last corner onto the straight, how that goes. And oh, and here is Philip the Hammer on Florian Kappel as they head around turn 14 into 15 right here, too wide. And Philip the Hammer is now challenging him before that start-finish straight. And that is one risky way to make a pass. And here you go. This is Florian Kappel. He's going to be able to make a move on the Hammer. Hammer wants the inside line as he heads towards Sunset Bend. Florian Kappel's going to have to go around the outside, and it's going to be a battle of who has more understeer, who can actually rotate this car through that corner. Florian Kappel around the outside, Philip Hammer giving up the position, and Igor Ko is now thinking about how can he make a pass on the Hammer, not quite able to make it happen. There's Florian Kappel is actually still ahead. Wow, congratulations, Florian Kappel. Following along here with Emil Koopmans was not able to get it done, and so he will be trailing Frank Smits in P7, Frank Smits in 6 across that start-finish line. Wow, what a great race for the win. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Here is Django Val, who's down 7 spots, many spots down. And yeah, really great qualifying and just unfortunately able to make it stick for the sprint race, and maybe just those nerves, those first race jitters just really got to him, and he'll be battling it out from 13th trying to go forward. Let's take a quickie look replay. How did that pass get initiated? Coming out of tower, wow. So coming out of tower, Philip Hammer just got an excellent launch out of that corner, and Florian maybe had a little bit of a bobble, and that is what triggered that too wide situation. Absolutely wild. Corey Lazarus, our last driver to finish, I think he may have had a technical issue of some sort, which would explain why he's one lap down. Normally, Corey is a fierce competitor of ours, and he's at the very, very front. So expect Corey to really battle it back and in the next race to try and get back where he feels he belongs, at the front, in the first 5, I will say. Corey has just not had a lot of good luck this season in the last 3 months with his equipment. Little steering wheel issues, wheelbase problems, fortunately for him, pedals has not been an issue. Pedals was his problem last season. So I really do wish Corey some good luck for next season. Hopefully able to run the entire season. I'd love to see where he ends up with that. So here is Barney, the flag guy. There is scenic view. I'm going to just do a quickie, thoughts on what are our top 3 points for this next race. Of course, as Adam Mora would always say, get a good start. Definitely key. Don't do a burnout on that start-finish line as soon as that flag goes green. You don't want to do that. That's the last thing you want to do. You're going to bleed positions, and it's all recovery mode once that happens. So get a good start. And I would also say just keep it safe for that first lap. You know, if you, when in doubt, back out. That would be my mindset in this situation. If you know that you're not going to be in a winning battle, trying to stay too wide in a situation for even longer than necessary is very likely to open up the door and lose even more spots. So filing back in that line is actually going to be a little bit more of a defensive, conservative path, but have you bleed less positions. And then the third thing for me, third point would actually just be keep it safe and finish the race without spinning. Very difficult track, as you see, and all of the bumps are going to throw that car around. And if you can finish with just staying consistent without spinning, you're going to have a pretty good result, I think, and a lot of fun, because I think most of these drivers are having a decent time at finishing without a spin. Not all, of course, but you know, most. Here is Emil Koopman's first to the grid. Real excited in car 911 to get into that car and start this race with our heat race here. You have, I believe it's 30 seconds, or is it a minute? It's a lot less time than normal to get onto that grid, start the car and get ready. So here you go. We're just waiting for a few more drivers. And once they jump into their car, we'll be ready to go. And I think everyone is now on the grid. Our green flag is almost ready to wave. You can see the lights in the middle of the screen. And if you want to count them with me, you got 4, you got 5. And the lights are off, and away you go. It looks like everyone's gotten a really great launch. Frank Smith's an excellent launch. Emil, an even better one. And I don't think Lee Holmes got the start that he was looking for. Not at all. Wow, this is an absolute wild adventure as you head around turn 1, 3 wide, possible 4 wide. Where is Bjorn Ritter? Anyways, wow, 2 wide through turn 3. This is every car absolutely going for it. There's Florian Kappel, a little bit of a bumping and bruising on Misha Berger. Luckily, everyone's still pointed straight and forward. Florian Kappel is now through the Burgermeister. And I'm going to pull up the timing tower. You can see who's the bigger winners, the bigger losers. And where is Lee Holmes? We're going to have to take a look on that replay to see exactly how he got that far down after. Oh, and there's Frank Smith spinning out of the hairpin. And that is exactly what happened to Django last race. And unfortunately, it's now happened to Frank Smith, who had a really great start and is just now going to have to work his way back through the field. Oh, and Emil Koopmans, through all of that battling that's been happening behind him, has been the very fortunate position to build a nice sizable gap from the back of this field. Well, not the back, the very second front of the field here. So Jamie Ferrero, Igor Coates, Florian Kappel, Gordon Ramsay, Philip the Hammer, all heading on to this start-finish straight right here. So this is going to be the first time round in this 30-minute race, and it looks like Igor is getting an excellent exit. He's probably going to make a pass on Jamie into Sunset Bend. Let's just follow along and see, does he go for it? And if I know Igor, there he goes up the inside. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, and he gets that overlap on Jamie, and he's going to have a little bit of a shorter distance travel, but Jamie's going to have an excellent exit and have the inside line on turn 1, and here they go towards turn 1. Wow, and I don't know if Igor's going to be able to make it happen, but the door is now starting to be wide open for Florian Kappel to start walking through. Oh, and there goes Jamie Fierro. and Igor Koz a little bit of a touch, and that is an unfortunate situation for sure for Igor. And Florian Kappel a little bit caught up in that and is much further behind. Fortunately for Emil Koopmans, that's put a lot of space between him and P2, who's now 3.7 seconds back. Philip the Hammer in third position. Philip the Hammer in third position, looking at trying to make a pass on Gordon Ramsay. Misha Berger right behind, trying to find a way to pick up the pieces and get back up to that very front. Here is Philip the Hammer going too wide into turn 10 on the inside line. Is definitely going to be a huge advantage. Gordon Ramsay not able to make it happen under braking, and so Philip the Hammer is through. I'm going to just take a quickie look at Igor Koz. Igor Koz down into 15, so now he's going to have a lot of fun battling back through all of these cars to see how far up he can get. It looks like Gordon Ramsay giving it up easy for Misha Berger, and Misha Berger is now up into third. And wow, look at this, Django Vall up 8 spots total. So that pace that we saw in that qualifying is now back. He is into 5th position. Florian Kappel is in 6th spot. He is still in this race, that's for sure. And where is Jamie Fierro's down 7 spots, who's now getting passed by Corey Lazarus. Corey Lazarus going up the inside. Nope, not quite. Oh, and there we go. Ryan Winfeld, Alexander Wilford also battling it out. Is Ryan Winfeld going to make some... Oh, no, Stefan Heineken. A little bit of a spin, a little bit too excited on the throttle, and around he goes. I want to take a quick look while we still can. Oh, there's Ryan Winfeld, Jamie Fierro battling it out as they exit turn 1. And that's Corey Lazarus going up the inside of Jamie Fierro, and this is too wide. Oh, this is going to be a too wide situation where you normally don't see it. And Jamie Fierro is actually battling it out, putting the power down a little bit better than Corey Lazarus. Is he going to be able to clear? I don't think so. This may be too wide into the hairpin. Here you go. Jamie Fierro is going to make it happen under braking to stay ahead. Wow. And there's Igor Koz going up the inside of Bjorn Ritter. Under braking, taking some overlap and making that pass. Or trying to anyways. Is he going to make it happen here? There goes Igor Koz diving up the inside on Bjorn Ritter. And I think that this is going to be in completion of the pass right there for Igor Koz. Danny Hugendorn just behind Bjorn Ritter, looking to make his way through as well. This is an unfortunate situation for Bjorn. Absolutely swarmed by drivers who are not normally around him. Here is Ryan Winfeld making that pass on Alexander Wilford out of Towers, looking at Thorsten Seifert ahead of him. And it looks like Ryan Winfeld getting aggressive, trying to make up some spots after that unfortunate event in the sprint race. Wow, absolute train of cars led by Django Vall. Django Vall is in lead of Thorsten Seifert, Ryan Winfeld, Alexander Wilford, Jamie Fierro, Corey Lazarus, Igor Koz, Bjorn Ritter, Danny Hugendorn, Alexander Redhead. All of these drivers, all right there in an absolute train of cars. And there goes Igor Koz on Corey Lazarus. So now Igor is now through Corey, and just behind you see Danny Hugendorn trying to make up a spot on Bjorn Ritter. Does he get a better exit? And he does. So Danny Hugendorn may be able to go for the inside, and he decides not to. He decides to wait. And if I know Danny, he's going to get it. Oh, he goes for the inside dive. That is not a move you normally see, but Danny went for it. He licked that stamp. He sent it, and he's now got a battle initiated between 941 and 992. Danny Hugendorn's going to have the inside heading into this hairpin. Igor Koz going for a move on Jamie Fierro and Alexander Wilford all at the same time, and Igor Koz is now through. Wow. Great recovery drive from Igor Koz. And here is Jamie Fierro and Alexander Wilford on the inside into turn 10. Oh, a little bit of a bump. Oh, and everyone able to stay on track somewhat. Maybe not. Looks like Jamie Fierro is going to have to retire that car. Unfortunately, you know, and drivers going hard, sometimes that's just how it goes, unfortunately. It's a very wide track and also a very narrow track all at the same time. It's quite a little bit of a conundrum, I gotta say. Here is Ryan Winfeld following Thorsten Seifert and Django Val on to the Allman Straight. Thorsten Seifert closing that gap. I don't think he's going to be able to get up alongside, but he's definitely trying to. A little further back, Igor Koz is now in 9th position. Here is Danny Hugendorn up the inside of Alexander Wilford. Wilford giving up that position. Now Corey Lazarus fighting for that spot as well. Danny Hugendorn hits the wall, just slightly scraping that wall. Use every inch of track. And now this is Corey Lazarus going up the inside of Alexander Wilford in turn 1. Is he able to get up there? No, he is not. And so Alexander Wilford's going to stay ahead in the toe of Danny Hugendorn. These guys are battling it out for every position, and you know, every position counts as the sun sets on this race and the day becomes night. This is Lee Holmes, who's down 13 spots total. He wants to get back up to the front, gain some of those points back for his amateur division championship run. And there's Corey Lazarus thinking about making a move up the inside in the hairpin, not able to get there in time. And all of these cars are just so close, you can see. Absolutely wild. Thorsten Seifert did in fact make a pass on Django. I want to take a look. How did that one happen? Here is for P6. So into turn 1, so this is exactly how it happened. Thorsten got the round the outside move completed, and that's how Thorsten got up into P6. I want to take a quick look if I can find it. How did Lee Holmes end up in the very back? So here is Lee Holmes off of the start of the race. Oh, and that was just an unfortunate situation for Lee Holmes, and that's what put him off and at the very back. So here is Thorsten Seifert as he heads down that start-finish straight. Django right behind him. Does he go for that inside move? No, he's going to wait it out. I think turn 1 is actually got to be the ultimate place to pass. Ryan Winfeld getting aggressive, wanting to get that left lane position, but not quite able to make it stick, make it happen. Corey Lazarus with Alexander Wilford and Bjorn Ritter battling it out. Bjorn Ritter and Alexander Wilford just a little bit further than Corey there. And this is going to benefit Corey, give him a little bit more space to try and catch Danny Hugendorn. Alexander Wilford looks like he is backing out and allowing Bjorn Ritter to take that apex. A little further back, you got Frank Smits, who's now made passes on Alexander Redhead and Lee Holmes. He is into 14th position. Oh, and Alexander Redhead, is he going to go for it? There is the Danny Hugendorn move, but you know the outside line is going to have the ability to put that power down just that much more, and away he goes. Frank Smits is still ahead, and Corey Lazarus, Danny Hugendorn, here you go. Corey Lazarus going to have to try and go round the outside. Danny Hugendorn throwing the defensive inside lines. And, oh, and there is Alexander had a little bit of a spin, maybe after some contact, not sure, but let's keep looking forward and see how this race goes at the very front, because it looks like Philip the Hammer has caught up to Emil Koopmans. So Emil Koopmans is definitely under fire. Luckily for Emil, there's a huge gap to P3. So if he just facilitates the pass, maybe go in the draft of the Hammer, and then he can stay away from Misha Berger, who is now entering that start-finish straight. So let's see, what kind of strategy is Emil going to deploy right here? He's going to battle it out and actually go too wide. Oh, there you go. Give up the position nice and easy. That is definitely the best way to do it. And off he goes. in the draft of the Hammer. Here is Ryan Winfeld trying to go around the outside. Thorsten Cypher a little bit too much understeer, and that's allowed Django to come up the inside of him, but Thorsten getting a better exit is going to be still ahead as he makes that run towards turn 1. Oh, this is getting close. This is getting spicy. You can see Igor Koz making that move on Ryan Winfeld. And so Igor Koz is now putting his name in the hat in the mix here. Just as Django goes up the inside on Thorsten. Is Igor Koz going to make a dive on Thorsten? I don't. Nope, he is going to wait it out and wait for that hairpin. And then a little further back, it looks like Danny Hugendorn is off of the track. I have no idea how that happened. Let's just take a quick look. How did that happen? I think it may have been self-inflicted injury. There it is. Danny's just getting a little bit too excited on the throttle pedal and made a little bit of a spin. Here is Igor Koz really trying to get aggressive on Thorsten and get ahead, get back to where he wants to be. But of course, these are all very competent drivers up here, so it's not just as easy as make a pass, go for a late break. All of these drivers know exactly how to throw those defensive lines, stay ahead, put the power down, and not make it too easy for you. And fortunately for Django Vol here, that battling may give him a little bit of separation that he needs to stay safe and stay in P6, P7, or however that will go. As you can see, Igor Koz just barely behind Thorsten. Not going to send it in that braking zone. It's definitely oh, he's going to go too wide before that straight. Definitely not a common place to do it. And there goes Ryan Winfeld through that open doorway saying, thank you very much. You've opened that doorway. I'll walk right through as well. Here's Corey Lazarus up 7 positions total after what looked like a failure, some sort of mechanical failure or electric equipment failure last race. Up into 10th. So he is having an excellent recovery race in this 30-minute feature with the reverse grid top 8. I'm going to just take a quickie peek at Philip the Hammer in the lead. So it looks like Emil Koopman's, his headlights are just slowly fading into the background. So Philip the Hammer is up 6 spots total in P1. He didn't win that sprint race, but looks like he's en route to winning this feature if he can keep it all together. He has 14.5 minutes to go, 15 minutes approximately, so it's not going to be an easy task. Still a long way to go. We're only halfway through, so we'll have to see how that goes as that story unfolds. You can see Misha Berger is in 3rd. Florian Kappel, car number 97, welcome back. You're up in P4. You're up 4 spots total. After winning that sprint race, Florian Kappel has now caught up to the back of Misha Berger. So it's only a matter of time given the pace difference of these two drivers. Although it's slight, Misha Berger very confident himself. Florian is just absolutely lightning quick. So heading into turn 15 and then turn 16 Le Mans, it looks like Florian is closing that gap. He's going to get that perfect draft onto that back straight, the almond straight, and make up another 1, 2 tenths, 3 tenths if he's lucky, and start thinking about how can you make that pass and start playing that game of checkers chess to poke a nose and make him a little bit frightened and open up those doorways. So here is Igor Koz in P7. He's only down 1 spot from where he started on the grid. After that little bit of a kerfuffle, he's recovered all the way back to P7. So that's a great recovery after that little bit of that incident. Now looking at Django's position of P6. I'm going to actually jump right up to, I'm going to take a look here at Philip Straffarelli and Stefan Heineken. So these guys are battling for P15. And so they are about 6 tenths. Okay, so we're going to have to come back to these guys as this battle unfolds. But they are very, very close, and just a little bit ahead of Philip Straffarelli, of course, is Lee Holmes. Oh, a little bit exciting there out of that corner, but yeah, we're going to jump up to Florian Kappel and Misha Berger. Misha Berger throwing that defensive line, wanting him to go round the outside. Is he able to make it happen? Misha Berger getting a little bit wild on that rear end of the Porsche. That engine, of course, being in the rear of the car really creates a huge pendulum effect. And so at this point, with Misha Berger really stressing those tires, it's only a matter of time until Florian can find a way through. Florian, it doesn't appear to have been destroying his tires, so the advantage is definitely in his court. The ball is in his court. He is right on that tailpipe of Misha Berger as he heads down the Allman Straight, getting an even better exit up the inside already as he exits that corner. Florian Kappel on the inside, at Misha Berger on the outside. Is Misha Berger going to fight him tooth and nail? Let's find out. Florian Kappel, oh, he is now ahead, and is there a little bit of a comeback? Nope, Florian Kappel putting that power down and able to stay ahead. What a pass. And here is, because we were watching that pass, here is how Igor Koz got ahead of Django Val up the inside, and it looks like Django is just letting him go nice and easy, and just wants to follow in his draft to get away from the drivers behind him, which is, of course, Ryan Winfeld and Thorsten Seifert. If a little bit further back, Corey Lazarus. All of these drivers are somewhat in that drafting range. Bjorn Ritter's got Alexander Wilfert to fight off. Both these drivers seem to have been attached to each other, hip to hip, knee to knee, all race long. 20 minutes later, Frank Smith's a little further back after that spin. That was unfortunate, I gotta say. And then a little bit further back, you got Lee Holmes and Philip Straffarelli. They are closer than ever. Lee Holmes on the inside, Philip Straffarelli going around the outside of turn 6, heading towards this hairpin. Nose diving under braking. Philip Straffarelli is a little bit ahead, and he's going to get that exit. Oh, not quite. Not quite. And fortunately for Philip Straffarelli, he's actually still ahead. Lee Holmes having to take a little bit of an evasive maneuver to not absolutely die. And that's actually, look at that, that's brought Stefan Heineken into the mix for Lee Holmes. So Lee Holmes has another driver directly behind him who he's going to have to fend off. And so he's going to have to get his pace back up to where he knows it can be to make sure that Stefan Heineken does not catch him. And if you look a little further back, there's Alexander Redhead. So don't look too far. You know, there's always a car ready to pounce. Peeking at the very front of our grid here, we've got Philip the Hammer in first, just going across that start-finish line. You can see Emil Koopman's 2.6 seconds back now. And just a little bit further back there is Florian Kappel and Misha Berger heading around turn 1. So Misha Berger just tucking in behind Florian Kappel, following in that draft and using that to his advantage. And Florian definitely has a little bit extra pace, and it may bring Misha Berger all the way to P2 Emil Koopman. So we're going to see how that one goes. I'm really curious if they can actually make that stick, make that work. Here's Alexander Wilfert. Oh, and he's giving it up easy to Frank Smith. He wants to pull the same little bit of strategy that I'm sure that Misha Berger is following. Just follow in that draft. Oh, but he's quite far back. So maybe something's happened to Wilfert's tires, or some sort of mechanical or visual, some kind of error. Something is happening to Wilfert. His pace has just absolutely dropped off by a lot, and I can't see any explanation to why. Gonna take a quickie peek here at Corey Lazarus, Thorsten Seifert for position 9 here in our race. Corey Lazarus 7/10ths behind as he heads around turn 10. Those brakes now glowing in the dark like an absolute light show. I love it. And Corey Lazarus not able to get any closer, heading out of tower, actually losing some time in that delta between them. Oh, it looks like through 15, able to gain some pace, and now he's closer than ever. And you know that, make one mistake with any of these drivers here when you're ahead or behind, and you can lose 5/10, just as you saw right there. Thorsten Seifert was almost 1 second ahead, and now he is less than 5/10 ahead. So, you know, just after a few corners, the tides can turn. Absolutely. Here's Bjorn Ritter with Frank Smits now following him. Alexander Wilford way behind. Something is wrong. Something has to be wrong. Here's Bjorn Ritter. Frank Smits going up the inside on turn 1. And this should be easy pickings. Bjorn Ritter just facilitating a pass and wanting to follow in that draft, and hopefully he brings them up even further in the field. Wilford is in pit lane. I have no idea what's happening there. That would explain, maybe something was wrong with his car. So here is Corey Lazarus. He is directly behind Thorsten Seifert, 3/10, so even closer than last lap. So this battle for P9 absolutely has heated up. Ryan Winfield has put a little bit of a gap. And actually, I'm just taking a look. Stefan Heineken has made a pass on Lee Holmes. What has happened? So let's take a look. How did that one happen? It looks like Lee Holmes has gone off of the track. Oh! And just an unfortunate turn of events for Lee Holmes. A little bit too much power too quickly, and that pass for Stefan Heineken was made a little too easy by the misfortunes for Lee Holmes, who's down 15 spots total. Lee Holmes, one of our top 3 amateur drivers this season. He had a really, really great start to our season, and as the season's gone along, someone's removed that rabbit's foot from his boot or something, because it's I don't know how to describe it other than Lee Holmes has just had absolute bad luck over and over and over. So definitely feel for him, and my heart goes out to him every time I see that bad luck striking. But Lee Holmes, one competent driver, he'll always be able to battle back at least. Here goes Corey Lazarus, still on the tail of Thorsten Seifert. This is our closest battle on track right now. Corey Lazarus made up all of that time, and closer than ever. Wow. So Corey Lazarus looks like he's lining himself up to get an excellent exit and potentially make a move into the hairpin. Is he going to be close enough to get some overlap? Is he going to go on the inside? I don't think he's close enough, and he's going to have to tuck in behind. He is still closer than ever, but not quite able to make that pass. Now I'm going to take a look at the leader of our race. Philip Hammer is now 5 seconds ahead of P2 of Emil Koopmans, who is right here now exiting tower. Florian Kappel is 1.1 seconds with Misha Berger in tow. So the Burgermeister, just following the draft of Florian Kappel, has been a very, very successful strategy. And with 3.5 minutes to go, he is definitely targeting Emil Koopman's position, and if Emil is not careful, he'll be going down into 3rd, 4th position. So this is going to get real spicy really, really quickly. This is the all-men straight as the sun is now set on this track of Sebring International. Heading around that last corner onto the start-finish line. There's Barney, the flag guy, up in his tower. With Emil Koopmans, the apex missers, unfortunately that name ringing true for him if these cars behind have caught him this quickly, and he's lost this much gap to the Hammer. Sorry to say, Emil. But you now have 2 drivers behind you who are hungry to battle for your spot, and there's 2.5-3 minutes to go. I think this is going to be about 2 or 3 more laps, 2 more laps potentially. Yeah, 2 more laps. 15 laps total for this race is what it's looking like right about now. And Florian Kappel has now caught up to the very back of Emil Koopmans. He is 4 tenths behind into this braking zone, which is the hairpin. Oh, and a little bit of a mistake from Emil Koopmans, and that's going to allow Florian Kappel to start making a move, and Emil Koopmans is going to have to defend on the inside, but Florian Kappel with that outside line is going to have the more favorable position in this scenario. Oh, and Emil Koopmans trying to put the power down to defend and not able to stay ahead. And there goes Emil Koopmans into the grass, luckily able to stay in control of his car. And Misha Berger is now through those, I guess, miss the apexes and away you go. So here's Florian Kappel now in P2, up 6 spots total, and I think that makes Florian Kappel the overall points tally winner of the race if he can hold this pace and hold this position, with Misha Berger in 3rd, Emil Koopmans in 4th. Here's Gordon Ramsay, a little bit of a lonely race for him. I think he's got a big gap in front, a big gap behind. Here's Igor Kos, 3.8 seconds behind Gordon Ramsay. Is he going to be able to catch him? I really don't think so. That's quite a gap. Django Val still in that draft of Igor Kos, and so he's been using that to his advantage. Corey Lazarus and Thorsten Seifert battling it out down that Allman straight. It looks like Corey Lazarus is ahead. Thorsten Seifert giving it up easy and just wanting to follow in the draft. So Misha Berger. Just as we go to you, Misha Berger is now off of the track out of turn 1, and that's put Emil Koopmans back into 3rd place and the final position of our podium. Misha Berger trying to push for all the marbles on the very last lap, all of a sudden found himself on the grass and is down into 4th. I don't think he's going to be able to make another push to get back up there. And so Philip the Hammer coming out of the hairpin, that consistency that we've seen from him all season long. You can see on our track map exactly how far ahead of P2 he is, and unless something absolutely catastrophic happens, he is going to be the winner of this race. Here is Florian Kappel, who's now put a little bit of a gap on P3 of Emil Koopmans, and Misha Berger a little bit further back. This is Gordon Ramsay, the headlights of the Scotland Yard car in Igor Kos, and wow, he has been actually closing that gap. Django is still directly behind Igor, showing some great pace to keep Ryan Winfeld, who's now much further back, at bay. Thorsten Seifert just closing that gap slightly on Ryan Winfeld, and if any mistake now, and it looks, hey, Thorsten Seifert's now ahead. How did that happen? I want to take a look. How did Thorsten get back up ahead? Oh, and exiting Sunset, a little bit too much throttle from Corey Lazarus, and so giving up that position totally worked for Thorsten Seifert. And there you go. There is Barney the flag guy waving that checkered flag. Congratulations, Philip the Hammer, for taking that win with the fastest lap of the race on the very last lap. Here's Florian Kappel and Emil Koopmans making that drag race down that start-finish line. And Florian Kappel just barely ahead, just 700ths ahead. Wow, great race from those two up at the very front. Wow. And so this means Corey Lazarus is actually behind Thorsten Seifert. Frank Smits coming in on 11th, Bjorn Ritter in 12th, Philip Straffarelli in 13th, taking the checkered flag. There is Stefan Heineken in 14th. He's up 1 spot total. Here's Alexander Redhead in 15th. Lee Holmes caught up to Alexander Redhead, not able to finish off that pass. Here's Alexander Wilford coming down the back straight. He may have had some sort of damage, and that was the cause of his slower than usual pace, but here he goes around that final corner, and he will be our final driver to take that checkered flag. And there we go, and that is the end of our race. Now we can pull up our finishing results here. There it is. Philip the Hammer, congratulations once again for the win of our feature race. Florian Kappel, what a great drive after a little bit of an incident to come back and end in second. Wow, what pace. Welcome back, Florian Kappel. Emil Koopmans, hello. Welcome back to the podium. That's where you definitely belong. It's been a while since I've seen you there, since we've all seen you there. And so welcome back up into that top three, Emil Koopmans. Misha Berger in fourth, Gordon Ramsay in fifth, Igor Koz in sixth, Django Vol in seventh. What a strong showing for his first race. Ryan Winfeld in eighth, Thorsten Seifert in 9, Corey Lazarus in 10, Frank Smits in 11, Bjorn Ritter in 12, Philip Straffarelli 13, Stefan Heineck in 14, Alexander Redhead 15, Lee Holmes 16, Alexander Wilfert in 17, Danny Hugendorn in 18. Then we got Jamie Fierro and Glenn Humberstone in the final two positions. And that now concludes our Porsche Cup Challenge Euro Global Division race here at Sebring. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I hope you all enjoyed the show just as much as I did. And I see Corey Lazarus, steering wheel disconnected from USB port. Absolutely unfortunate to see that from Corey. I feel bad for Corey. I hope that next season he has some really great luck with his equipment and can run the entire season without problems, because Corey Lazarus is definitely one of those fierce competitors, hugely strong pace that deserves to be battling for those top three spots. So I just can't wait to see Corey have that opportunity to give that a good run. And that now concludes our Porsche Cup Challenge Sunday Euro Global Division race. Next week, of course, is our final race at the Nürburgring. Absolutely cannot wait. And so there we go. Michael McLeod here signing off as your commentator for the night. And I'll see you guys next week.
Control, will you help me? When I lost control, we had lost. Yeah, we lost control. Yeah, we lost control. Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me?